students, welcome back to another English video lesson. Today we are going to learn this beautiful chapter, The Making of a Scientist, from the textbook Footprints Without Feet. First, let's look at the profile of the writer. Who is the writer? Robert W. Peterson. He was an American newspaper writer who later became a freelance author of magazine articles and books, especially on the topics of sports and scouting. The Making of a Scientist is a fascinating story of a young student who did marvelous work in the field of science. What is his name? Yes, Richard Bright. He was a solitary child. He had a great fascination for catching butterflies in his childhood. His childhood interests led him to become a full-time scientist. He was an excellent debater, speaker, and wonderful photographer too. Richard A. Bright has received the Searle Scholar Award and Scaring-Plough Award for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. It was his fascination for butterflies that opened the world of science to him. In this chapter, let's learn about the scientist Richard A. Bright. Then let's see how he became a scientist. How his childhood fascination opened the world of science to him. At the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with a new theory on how cells work. Richard H. Bright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. Let's go to the important points in the chapter. Richard H. Bright, along with his roommate, surprised the world at the young age of 22. When they explained the theory, what was the theory on how cells work? That was published in the Proceedings of National Academy of Science. It was really a popular magazine on those days. This valuable magazine had published the work of college students for the first time. For Richard A. Bright, it was one of the many achievements that he achieved later in his life. He says that all this curiosity started with butterflies. Bright grew up in Pennsylvania and was the only child of his parents. He could have done much there as there were very less people living there. So when he was a child, Richard A. Bright, he was very curious. He was very curious to know more about butterflies. He loved butterflies very much. He was grown up in Pennsylvania. So there he was the only child of his parents. So he started watching and observing the butterflies. He says that he could only do one thing alone, and that was collecting things, as he had no friends to play football or baseball with. So he had no any other friends to play football or baseball with. So he started collecting things. For that he doesn't need any friend like. So he had done collecting butterflies, rocks, fossils and coins from the time when he was in kindergarten. So he started collecting butterflies, rocks, fossils. You know what's a fossil? Then coins, collecting coins. You may have many hobbies, right? My dear students. So like that, our Richard A. Bright had a hobby. What's it? Collecting butterflies, rocks, fossils and coins from the time when he was in kindergarten, when he was in KG section. He also used to keep on staring the stars and sometimes the whole night, as he was interested in studying astronomy. At night, what was his hobby? He was just gazing at the sky, staring at the stars and sitting, he wants to sit all all the night watching the stars. Okay, then at that time he had an ambition that he wants to study astronomy. So he was interested in all these things. Okay, he started collecting butterflies, at the same time rocks, at the same time fossils, and at the same time coins. Also at the same time he loved to watch stars in the sky. Ebride had always been curious to learn new things and had a sharp mind. His mother used to encourage him to learn. So he was alone actually, but he has only one friend, that was his mother. She used to take him on learning trips, used to buy him telescopes and other instruments that would help him in learning new things. His mother was his only friend until he went to school. So before he started going to school, there was no other friend but his mother. Okay, but when he started going to school, he started getting a lot of friends. After started going to school, his mother would get his friends home. He and his mother used to stay together at night, and they used to do and learn things together. Okay, they were doing things together, learning things together. A bride who was nicknamed Richie by his mother was her whole life and support system after his father died when he was in 3rd grade. They used to spend most of the evenings together. So he lost his father when he was in 3rd grade. After that, there was only his mother to support him in his whole life. He used to like the learning work that his mother used to give him, as that was what he wanted to do. That is, learn about more and more new things. So he has that much love to learn new things. His mother was there to support him. He was a bright student, as he used to score good in class and also was regular in his daily tasks. By the time he was in 2nd class, he had collected all the 25 species of butterflies that were found in his neighborhood. How many species? 25 species. Okay, when he was in 2nd grade, he had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around in his hometown. Okay, such a curious one was our Richard Ebride. See this box, it includes species and subspecies of butterflies collected by our Richard Ebride in 6 weeks. Okay, in 6 weeks in Reading, Pennsylvania. Okay, just look at the box. Gossamer winged butterflies. Okay, this is the main species. Then snout butterfly, wood nymphs and satyrs, monarchs. Okay, monarchs, then whites and sulfurs, brush-footed butterflies. Okay, the features of those species are also given in that box. Okay, so these are the 25 species of butterflies that are found by our little boy Richard Ebride in his neighborhood. He thought that it would have been the end of his butterfly collection. At this time, his mother brought him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch X. The book told how the monarch butterflies migrated to Central America, which was the turning point for Ebride as it turned his curiosity towards science. Okay, this book tells about butterflies, monarch butterflies. Okay, they migrated to America, Central America. Okay, so all the details are there in that book. So he was very curious to read that book. Then again he started learning more and more about butterflies, especially monarch butterflies. At the end of the children's book that his mother had got him, the readers of the book were invited to help the study of butterfly migrations. they were asked to tag butterflies. The students, okay, these readers were asked to tag butterflies by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto in Canada. Richie's mother wrote to the doctor, and soon he was attaching adhesive tags to the wings of the butterflies. Okay. That means the person who would find a butterfly with a tag was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. The butterfly collecting season lasted for around 6 weeks. Then a bride understood that if he kept on collecting butterflies one by one, he wouldn't be able to collect many. So, the next step he took was that he decided to raise a flock of butterflies in his basement. He used to catch a female butterfly, collect its eggs, and raise them in his basement through their proper life cycles. Then he used to tag the wings of the butterflies and would let them go. There were thousands of monarchs in his basement, okay, monarch butterflies, growing in different life stages for many years. Soon he started losing interest in tagging butterflies as it was very slow and tiring process. Okay, so the butterfly means that life journey of a butterfly, it took time. So it is very slow and it's a tiring process. It also did not get him much response. He said that out of the many butterflies that he tagged, only 2 could be recaptured by people, and those 2 were not more than 75 miles away from where he lived. When he was in 7th class, he came to know what real science was, as he lost at a county science fair. Okay, he participated in a county science fair, but he lost it. It was a really sad feeling for him to see all other people win something while he did not win anything. He showed frog tissue slides. Okay, so that was his experiment there. He showed frog tissue slides under a microscope, but realized that all the winners had actually tried to perform an experiment and not just make a neat display out of their projects. Okay, others are doing some experiments, but he is just displaying something. Then from that he understood what real science is. He had already started developing the competitive spirit inside him. Now he had decided that he would be making a real project for the next year's fair. Okay, so now he has understood what he has to do to be a winner in this field. So he decided to do a new project. He thought and realized that he had maximum knowledge about the subject of insects as he had been studying them for quite some time now. He wrote to Dr. Urquhart for ideas, and he sent back a lot of ideas for his next year's project. He realized that now he had a maximum knowledge about this subject, okay, subject of this insect, especially butterflies. So anyway, he decided to learn more and more, and he wants to get more idea for his new project. So he wrote to Dr. Urquhart for ideas, and he sent back a lot of ideas. Okay, Dr. Urquhart gave him a lot of ideas for his next year's project. He remained busy with those areas all throughout his high school and won many prizes. In his 8th class, okay, when he was in 8th standard, he tried to find the cause of a viral disease that killed nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. So he tried to find out the cause of viral disease that affected the life of monarch caterpillars. A bride thought that the disease was being transmitted through beetles, so he started raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. Okay, so he wants to get the idea, means he wants to get the reason why these caterpillars are killed. Then he tried to understand it. Okay, he did an experiment. He started raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. Then he found the problem, the reason for that viral disease, the cause of that viral disease. What's a beetle? Beetle is an insect. Okay, beetle is an insect. So in the presence of beetles, he did experiments to get the cause of a viral disease that killed all monarch caterpillars. After this experiment, he was very satisfied and contented because he has done something. He won something for his project. For the next year, he tried the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. Okay, viceroy butterflies look like monarchs. So he is doing the project on this monarch butterflies. So he tried the theory viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. They look like monarchs. So what happened? He put forward the theory that viceroy butterflies look like monarchs. So what happened? Monarchs don't taste good to the birds, and birds like to eat viceroys. So birds are getting confused to see monarchs, then they started eating or killing monarchs also. So monarchs had become endangered species, okay, when they look like viceroy butterflies. Okay, my dear students, actually his project on monarch butterflies. Okay, so he started learning more and more about monarch butterflies. First, he experimented or discovered that cause of that viral disease that killed monarch butterflies, monarch caterpillars. Now he discovered another element that is related to the life of monarch butterflies, that is viceroy butterflies look like monarchs, so they were eaten or they were attacked by the birds. See the pictures of viceroy butterfly and monarch butterfly. They look same, isn't it? So the more the viceroy looked like the monarch, the less likely it is that viceroy would be eaten by a bird. He wanted to show in his project that would a bird eat monarchs or not. He found out that the sterling bird would prefer eating a monarch. Later, research shows that the viceroys copied the monarch. This project won him the first division in the zoology department and third overall position in the county science fair. During his second year of high school, Richard started a research from which he found about an unknown insect hormone that later helped him in his new theory about the life of cells as well. After the successful completion of the project of this monarch butterflies, he then moved on to another one. That is, he started studying about a new theory about the life of cells as well. The question from where this research on cells, it was very simple as to what was the purpose of 12 tiny gall spots on a monarch pupa. On monarch pupa, there were 12 tiny gall spots. Most of the people said that the spots were made for making it look more decorative, to look more beautiful. But Dr. Urquhart didn't believe in what others said. Okay, so Dr. Urquhart was there to help him in his all projects. So other people believe that there are only beauty spots on monarch pupa, but he said that it is not so. There are some other reasons, scientific reasons behind those tiny gall spots. So he decided to do a research on that. See this monarch butterfly, there are tiny 12 gall spots on that wings. So he decided to do a research on that. To find the answers to this question, a bright another excellent science student together made a device that proved that these spots produce a hormone necessary for the full development of a butterfly from a pupa. With this, a bride won the first prize at the county science fair and the entry to the International Science and Engineering Fair. He did a research and found out that beauty spots are tiny gall spots are not only beauty spots, it produces a hormone necessary for the full development of a butterfly from a pupa. So for that research, he won the first prize at the county science fair and he has got entry to International Science and Engineering Fair. There his project won third prize for zoology. He also got a chance to work at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. He continued his work with the monarch pupa as a high school junior, and that led him to win the first prize at the International Science Fair. After winning this prize, he also got a chance to work at the Army laboratory during summers. Then, during his senior year, he tried another experiment in which he grew cells from a monarch's wing, in a culture, and showed that cells would divide and develop into a normal butterfly wing scales, provided that they were treated with the hormone from the gall spots. So what was his next discovery? From the cell of this monarch's wing, we can develop a cell into a normal butterfly wing with the presence of what? With the presence of that hormone from the gall spot. This research of his won the first prize at the international fair, and he spent his summer after graduation doing more research on the subject at the Army laboratory and the laboratory of US Department of Agriculture. He started working there on summer. Then he worked some more on the hormone release from the gall spots during the following summers at the laboratory of the Agriculture Department. He pursued his studies, he pursued his research on this hormone release from the gall spots. Then he identified the chemical structure of the hormone using the lab's special equipment. After 1.5 years, a bride got the idea for his new theory, which was about the cell life. What's it? The idea came to him when he was looking at the X-ray photos of the chemical structure of the hormone. What was his discovery? When he saw those photos, a bride didn't shout. Actually, he can shout, Eureka! But he didn't get excited about his discovery as soon as he found it, but came to a realization that his years of study on the insect hormone had solved one of the puzzles of biology. It had solved the mystery of how cells read the blueprint of its DNA. What was his discovery? He found that as the DNA is in the nucleus of a cell that controls, it controls the heredity. Therefore, it determines the form and function of a cell that you have studied in science textbooks. Hence, DNA is the blueprint of life. Then, a bride and his roommate made drawings and plastic models for the theory, which showed how it was possible, and later wrote a paper which explained the process. What's the process? He has discovered that DNA is the blueprint of life. He has discovered that it determines the form and function of a cell. So through these discoveries, he was scaling the heights of learning. It didn't surprise the people who knew him that he graduated from Harvard with highest honors and stood second in his class among 1,510 students. He then became a graduate student researcher at the Harvard University and also started doing practical experiments to test his theory. It was expected that if the theory proved to be correct, then it would be a big step towards understanding the complex system of life and also would lead to new ideas for preventing certain types of cancer and other diseases. So his discovery was really great. It leads to more understanding, the complex system of life, and also it would lead to new ideas for preventing certain types of cancer and other diseases. So this showed how his research on the monarch pupa led him to a theory about cell life. So where was his beginning? His beginning was the research on the monarch pupa. From that, he came to a great discovery, that is the discovery about, or the theory about, cell life. It was really a major contribution to the world of science. He had been keen in science ever since he started collecting butterflies. We have seen that, but this did not keep him away from his other interests in life. He was not only smart in this field of discovery or in the field of science, he was a champion debater, a great public speaker, and a good boat racer, canoeist. So he was also an all-round outdoor sports person, along with being an expert photographer. He has proved himself in many other fields. He was great at capturing nature and scientific subjects. He was a very good photographer. As he was a great student and always used to score good marks, he used to focus his extra energy on debating at Model United Nations clubs. He also used to admire his social studies teacher and an advisor to both clubs, Mr. Richard A. Wellerer. This person, Mr. Richard A. Wellerer, he influenced him a lot. What was he? He was a social science teacher and advisor to both clubs. A bride thought that his teacher was the right man, as he was the one who used to open his mind to new ideas. His teacher was impressed with the fact that how a bride would give an extra 3 to 4 hours of effort at night for the debate research, apart from the time that he used to give to his butterfly research and his other interests. A bride was ready to work. His teacher was actually proud of a bride. According to him, he was the person who put in 3 or 4 hours at night for what? Doing debate research, besides doing all his research with butterflies and his other interests. So, according to his teacher, Mr. Wellerer, Richard was very, very, very competitive. He added that he was very competitive, but not in a bad sense, because he didn't win to get prizes or for the sake of winning, but because he wanted to be the best at whatever he did. What was his spirit actually? He wants to do something. He wants to complete something. He wants to do a research or something, not for winning prizes, not for the sake of winning, but he wants to do everything at its best. This is what makes a good scientist. He needs a first-rated mind. What is the qualification to be a good scientist? A scientist should have a first-rated mind, healthy competitive mind, along with curiosity and an added will. Added will for what? To take extra effort to win for the right reasons. His intention should be good. His intention should be very perfect. So what are the ingredients in making of a scientist? This is what we have to keep in our mind. This is the essence or the cream of this chapter. One should have a first-rated mind. First-rated mind, and also he should win for the right reasons. Okay, he should be ready to do the best job he could. These are the three ingredients needed in the making of a scientist. Since the time Richard's mother got him the book about migration of monarchs, his curiosity towards science has just grown. Okay, so he had all these ingredients. Which are they? A frustrated mind and added curiosity and the added will to win for the right reasons. Okay, note these points, my dear students. A bride has these qualities. Then it was boosted by his mother when she got a book, The Travels of Monarch 10. Actually, it opened the world of science to him. Richard Ebride has never lost his scientific curiosity. So, my dear students, underline the last paragraph in our chapter, page number 37. It's very, very important. Okay, so if you have passion, if you have an ambition, go ahead, drive. Okay, drive ahead. Then you can be a better person or a great person in your career or in your future. Now let's see some important questions with its answers. Here ends our chapter. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon to get more notifications. Thank you all. See you soon. Bye.